This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing News. Delighted to be joined by... Oh, there he is.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't want to be rude because I'll be rolling. I keep it rolling, yeah? But I'm going to really quickly just... you coming over, bro. I just want to invite my friend who just had a bare knuckle fight last week. He lost, but he was way overmatched. Not overmatched in skill, like size. The kid was way bigger than him. So shout out Albert Incline. I was just inviting him around to come for games night.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing him when he gets here.
Yeah.
We are here in a very, well, not quite sunny anymore because it's come down a little bit, but still a very lovely Phoenix, Arizona ahead of your return to the ring this weekend on the Estrada BAM undercard. How you doing, Sonny?
Yeah, man, it's sunny everywhere I go. Bring the weather with me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. I feel fit, I feel sharp, hungry, determined, all of the above, everything a boxer's supposed to say. All the cliches at once. All good.
Now, of course, for people who want to know what you've been up to over the last couple of weeks, you can buy this week's edition of Boxing News magazine in stores and available by subscription now, featuring special guest columnist Sonny Edwards, where you discuss, you know, kind of how you've been getting on over here, I guess. But we've left the nitty and gritty, I suppose.
That was one of the earliest cut to ad breaks I've ever seen.
No, usually it's much sooner than that. It's usually in the intro. But we've given you the grace of a few questions. You allowed you to promote your fighter as well, which is very selfless of you.
Yeah, we're very selfless.
But anyway, there we go. You lost last time we were here, Sonny.
Thanks for reminding me, Rob. Everyone keeps doing that. Everyone I speak to keeps doing that.
We haven't really... We spoke about it immediately afterwards. We haven't spoken about it properly, I guess, on camera.
Because I've gone into hiding recently.
You have been less visible. Now, is that a conscious thing, or is that you running from Tommy Robinson? Or what's been up with you? Usually this time you're kind of...
my account got taken down. Don't even want to speak about it. I've been advised not to speak about it too much.
Okay, well, we can move on from that.
There's certain people you can't speak about.
But basically, what I was kind of getting at there is kind of your approach to this mentally. I mean, you're somebody who's always been very, very confident, very cocksure of your abilities, and up until your last fight, you kind of backed everything up in the ring, in the win column at least. But coming back off the first defeat of your career, an emphatic one at that, to Bam Rodriguez.
You don't have to add all the adjectives. We can just keep it at a defeat.
How have you, I guess, rebounded from that?
I made the conscious agreement with myself that my skills, my ability, my levels is never going to be capped by one loss, one win. I started my amateur career and I couldn't get a national title over the line. I then started doing it over and over and over again. Then I lost in a final after just beating someone that was a 3 times Olympian. Like, there's always dips and highs, so I've never let one night take me too far away from who I believe I am in this world. I'll be real. When you're going against the best in the world, it's a percentages game. Maybe Bam is a better fighter than me. Maybe his percentages were higher before we got in the ring, but it doesn't mean I don't have no chance of winning. It don't mean that I weren't competitive. It don't mean that even after sustaining damage to my eye, that kind of put me in a situation that I've never had to be in before with my visibility. I still, can look back with enough respect for the effort I put in. I know I gave everything I could give. I've said numerous times, whether people believe me or not, my trainer genuinely tried stopping the fight the round before. Not because of the fight, not because of the action even, but because of the damage to my face. He said I couldn't see it, and it kind of went straight through my body, and I got goosebumps, went hot and cold all at the same time. It was a really weird sensation to feel, hearing for the first time in a near 20-year boxing career, I'm going to pull you out of this fight. I've never heard that before, not in my 20 professional fights, not in any of my amateur fights, not even in a spar. I've never heard that before, so it was a shocking moment. I didn't let him at the end of round 8. All he told me was do something this round. I was trying to. I thought I was doing better than I had definitely the last round, and probably the couple of rounds before that as well. And then on the klaxon, I got put down with a heavy shot, and I'll be real, that moment there is still one of my favourite moments in boxing. That shot me getting up, and I know how hard of a shot was. That was clean, square, straight through the button. He set a trap that I completely fell for, and he nearly took my head clean off, and my forehead went straight on the canvas. And I know the sensation of what went through my mind and the belief I get from myself knowing I can get up from that. Like I said, if I lost that round clear, Grant was stopping the fight anyway. He gave me one more round. I got up with a smile on my face that the bell went. And in that 2-3 seconds, I was expecting to come out again like I was still in the fight. And then I just had like a shot in my chest. Grant said something to me. I nodded, and I was out. And that was that. But do I feel any less of myself over it? No. I'm actually looking at on that on very fond memories. Probably why I can bump into Bam at the gym that we're sharing out over here, and it's nothing but respect and love. Like, he deserves that from me, if nothing else, because he beat me fair and square. And I'm a sport. I'm a good competitor, and I've been a gracious winner, really, every time I've been one. I don't know if people really... I've never really tranced over an opponent after I beat him. I've never rubbed things in faces or not gone and shown respect and shake hands and give them their props and always get a picture of them, because all them bits mean something to me in my life. Like, I'll be real, I don't dislike any fighter. So, yeah, I weren't the man on that night, and, you know, I've won 20, I've lost 1. I've got more experiences of me being the man than not, and the reason why I wanted to fight Bam in the first place was because I knew he was so good. That's what's different with me, and I don't want to say a lot of these fighters, but that's probably the truth, that if there's someone else that I rate, I want to fight them. I want to see how good I am. Like, Rob, you've heard me many times, off camera, on camera, like, I have belief in myself, not even if I genuinely think I'm going to 100% go in there and it's just going to be rolled out for me to win. I think I can do it, though. You understand? I think even now, people might think I'm deluded, that you could offer me some of the biggest names out there, and I would completely, with every conviction, prepare and train and get in the ring and fight as if I can do it. And if I can't, so be it. I love this game. I love boxing. I have nothing else that I'd want to do with my time and effort. Whether it kills me, whether it hospitalizes me, cripples me, I don't know. But if it does, I did something I genuinely love doing. And yeah, 1 loss, 2 losses, 5 losses in a row, I'll probably still be fighting. And still be talking the same way, because I probably still will genuinely believe it. Yeah, 1 night, 1 loss. That proved that Bam was better than me. That night, who knows, a month later, I could have won. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? We don't know. This universe is so unpredictable, and yeah, maybe he beats me 9 times out of 10 or 11 times out of 10. But I would still love to find out every single one of those times. And after every time, I'd still love to find out again, because a fight where I lose makes me feel something. A fight where I go in 12 rounds someone.
I appreciate your honesty and your openness with that. That's probably why I asked you the direct question about it. I kind of knew that you would approach it that way, so thank you very much for that. When you box at the top level, we discussed after the fight, you know, the unification bout is pretty much the highest level you could box at. When you lose at those levels, how does that impact on your preparation, how you prepare going into camp? Have you done things differently this time, or has it been the same thing as you were doing before?
Probably very similar, probably a few different mindset changes. I've had good people around me, some of my friends, some of my fighters, some of my coaches, management, and, you know, just trying to reiterate what made me so special as a fighter, that I think it would be kind of easy to agree with them that, you know, since I've been a world champion, apart from probably in 8 rounds against Alvarado, I've kind of changed my style a lot. I used to not get hit. I used to go for a 10, 12 round title fight and get hit with less than 30 punches, 40 punches, and they'd be coffins and that. They wouldn't even be like clean. And then I kind of lost that. I kind of gained ego a bit. I kind of wanted to prove to myself, prove to everyone else that I can fight just like everyone else can. Why I did that, why I do that, why I still go to do that, I'm not too sure. I enjoy it, unfortunately. Kind of, I guess, the sadist in me that I didn't know exist when I actually started standing and holding my feet and firing back. Like, I weren't surprised that I could go that far in a shootout with Bam, where he was landing pretty much everything he was throwing. Like, he got the highest percentage of punches ever landed. I'm not surprised, because I weren't moving my feet. I weren't trying to box him. I was trying to have a rock'em sock'em robot roll with him, because to me at that point it's all I could do, because I couldn't gauge his range. So I'm not surprised at any of those. I knew how many punches I was getting caught with, do you know what I mean? And he's a very clean, crisp, explosive, well-fought puncher. And I wasn't surprised that I took as much hammer as I did. And I'll be real, if the damage was never sustained and the fight was just worse and keep going worse, I would have stayed in there because I could have still take those punches. Even though I got put down, I could still come out another round. I know I could have. I weren't like completely gone. You see, I walked back to my corner. After about 8 seconds, my head's clear, but at 6 seconds, it was like for some reason my recovery comes right back because I want to be there so bad. But the damage to my face, some things that I couldn't speak on camera, being in my mind that like I couldn't, like I just had to at that time. But yeah.
You mentioned there kind of going back to what made you special as a fighter and that elusive version of Sonny Edwards. You did go away from that, you know, but not by necessarily by design.
I don't think no one can beat him, and that's what's so boring about it.
Is that what we see you revert to against Curiel? Because Curiel is a come-forward, traditional Mexican fighter, big left hand to the body, to the head merchant. Do you need to get back to that version of Sonny Edwards? Is that what we're going to see this weekend?
Nah, I don't think, like, to a very, like, decent level of boxing, I can still punch up someone's head fighting like that. Like, you saw the shootout with Bam. It's not like I weren't hitting him. It's not like I weren't winning rounds, and he's very good. He beat people better than me and beat him much easier. Like, he didn't lose any rounds against him. He beat them all, punched, like, the heads in. Like, put him, like, down just like he did, but really, like... So, I don't think I need to. Would everyone around me that has a emotional, financial interest in my career probably would want me to. Do I want to? Probably not. Will I? Probably. It's like, you understand, like, the kind of, like, because when I'm in the ring, it's not that I even want to entertain. I know it's entertaining, but I enjoy having a fight. Does that make sense? But I never used to. Before I was a world champion, I never used to. I didn't enjoy taking a punch, really. I didn't enjoy having a fight. I used to like making people miss. I used to like making them look silly. For me, landing 4 clean shots and not getting hit one, 12 rounds in a row, was perfect business. It was economical. Some part of me, at some point, maybe, I don't know what. Maybe I just got a little bit numb to just winning. Maybe I realised that 5 defences of a world title, even kind of changing in that process, you still don't maybe get the credit you deserve. It's still like people don't care. So why do I even care about winning? I care about competing. I care about fighting. I care about enjoying myself. That's what people don't get. Like, this isn't just a business for me. That's why I'm always here. That's why I'm getting my face punched in by Bam on a Saturday. And then 7 days later, I've flown the other side across the world, from Arizona to the UK to Saudi Arabia, to see Lyndon get his face punched in by Bibble. We had a great Christmas, though. I tell you that now. Our pockets were full. You know what I mean? And it's funny how aligned mine and Lyndon's careers are. Like, if you really look at dates, always a week apart, one before the other, similar level fights, always coming through, similar level events, even similar level other things that, like, it's crazy. It's like our careers have been very, and yeah, man, I'm proud of us both. So the fact that that wasn't our year, the end to the year, we still had a fucking fantastic one. Probably one of the best of my life. So who am I to complain that I lost the fight? I will just keep challenging myself, and I want to win, and I want everyone to win for me and all the effort they put in. And I'm a very competitor, and I love winning. But as much as I love winning, I love fighting, and that's probably what I'm kind of stuck on now. Before, I used to love winning and not like fighting. And at some point it changed. Why, how, I don't know. But if I'm being just completely, brutally honest, like, this is therapy. That's from the heart. Like, I don't know why either. I don't know why. I stopped getting fear of punches. If you watch me spar, every single clean shot, I tell them they hit me with a good shot. I turn into a positive when I come forward. I don't react negatively to punches. Like, I don't dislike it. It's crazy. I don't know why. I don't know if I've tricked my mind. I don't know if I've hacked the program. I don't know. I have no idea. But, like, actually getting punched used to be something I hated. And now it really isn't anymore. It's like one of the few things in this life outside of my kids and some really close family members and friends that make me feel anything, if I'm honest.
One of the things I wanted to discuss with you is your weight. One of the things that we discussed after the fight with Bam was you moving down to light fly. Curiel was a former light flyweight champion, of course, only lost his title in his last fight. Would it be fair to say this is kind of 2 light flies boxing at flyweight? Did you consider that seriously at all?
Nah. So making light fly, I would have to put some serious work in.
Did you consider it?
I'm not a small flyweight.
Did you consider it? Because you did talk about it.
I don't say things I don't mean, Robert. Ever.
How seriously did you consider it?
serious enough that when the first fight got agreed, it was at light flyweight. If that's if that's serious enough.
Yeah, that's
And
that's
the
very
reason
interesting.
why it changed from light flyweight to flyweight is because, you know, like when you sign contracts and there's this fight, if you win, you fight this person, because it makes it easy to promote shows that way, yeah? And I'm on board with that. I like to know who I'm fighting. Not Shinga wouldn't agree to fight me. He wouldn't. Didn't want to. Wanted to go mandatory and elsewhere. Did not want to fight me. Nope. So what's the point of me dropping down when the IBF champion now won't fight me? Now, if Curio won, it'd have been at like flyweight. World title shot. Straight away. Would have got made. But because not Shinga won and didn't want to fight me, because obviously his trainer's the trainer of Mavriti, I dethroned the 13-year unbeaten, 2 times world champion, #1 Ring magazine for more years than I've probably been an active boxer. But when I did that, obviously now he doesn't want to put his next one in with me straight away. He'll probably want to build him up, make him better, make him like even more confident, get him a bigger name, and then make it a bigger fight in the future where he comes and gets his own back. But because of that, right now, I was told the fight's at flyweight now, and the fight after that is a big fight that I don't know. I don't think I'm at the liberty to announce because I don't know if it's agreed on the other side. I know I've agreed purse. I've agreed anytime they want. There's 2 locations they're thinking for that fight, both in the UK. So, like me, I've got my plan again, and it was at flyweight. So I'm a businessman. I don't know. It could have been at super flyweight. If they said to me when we was negotiating, oh, what about, I don't know, rungs of Vine and a Chocolatito at super flyweight, guess where I was going next? Like, weight for me is just under something I can manipulate quite easily. I can stop and still feel confident at any of the weights in between. I spend most of my time walking around at like 60, 61, 62 kilos, sparring at that weight. I'll probably be moving up at time. I'll probably be one of the smallest lightweights out there, but there's probably loads of them that I can beat. There's probably loads of the featherweights that I can beat. I know this because I sparred some real good ones. And no one ain't got no sparring stories on me, I'll tell you that, nothing.
What could that other big fight be, Sonny? You can't leave us on the edge of our seats there.
What do you think, Robert? Come on, use your investigative journalism.
Am I at liberty to disclose it? You said that you're not.
I don't have to agree. I can say you can put stuff out there. Okay. Now,
is that fight Galal Yafai?
No, if he accepts it.
How difficult of a fight is that, in your opinion?
A difficult fight.
Why?
Because we've fought each other and we've sparred probably 300, 400, 500 rounds. Maybe not that much, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I think it's about that. Like, we was on GB together, we've done whole camps where like 3 weeks, 2 spars a week, we're sparring long rounds. Like, so we sparred like a hell of a lot, maybe not 300, maybe like 100, 200. And every round's fire. So the fans will be in for a treat. And I like Galal, I'll be real. We bumped into each other not too long ago, like in Tesco's. I really like Galal, man, but it's a fight that the fans have to see, trust me. Like, if you watch the video of the spar on GB, like, people used to stop and watch that spar. Honest. Like, it was always fireworks. So, yeah. Hopefully they get over the line on his side. I'm already there. I can always say that quite easy because when I sign my contract, I sign all my fights. So I sign all my purses for all the fights that they want to show me in the contract, and we go from there. So, yeah, I've agreed. But yeah, we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully, you know, I have some news straight after this fight, because that for me would be, you know, the UK version of the BAM fight, I guess, a big event, one that people actually care about, genuinely.
If you had the opportunity to box for a world title, would that supersede a fight with Galal Yafai?
Absolutely not. No way. I've kind of got to a mindset where titles, like, when I was a 9-year-old kid or a 15-year-old kid or a 22-year-old prospect fighter coming through, I see world titles as one thing. Now I'm a 28-year-old former world champion. I see him as a different thing. So no, the big fight would definitely supersede. And not because of the money, I promise you. Because of the event. And not because of the exposure. Just because it means something to people. And it will mean something to me. And it will be a nice little crowd. And all these insects. Can I have that spray, please? Before I start getting big to death under your flashlight, Robert.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've lit you up just so you're an easy target for them as well.
I know. See what you. It's like I'm a flyweight.
Nice, good one. Away from your good self, we are, of course, out here for another fight. Small fight between Juan Francisco Estrada and your old mate, Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
Small fight if you look at the cover of Boxing News this week.
Oh!
Yeah. You set me up for that, Robert.
Shout out to Teofimo Lopez, by the way. But anyway.
Well, we know who don't get the love.
We'll see.
Innit?
Listen,
We know who don't get the
Teofimo
love.
Lopez got the cover. I'm over here and I'm not at his fight.
Can you get the other one, please? That was basically running out. Thank you. Sorry.
But anyway.
And they're biting me. Look at that little motherfucker, right?
Little pause
Nah,
for
you're killing me now, Robert, because I'm the only thing lit up in this whole
an
garden.
insect break. If you've got the thing, you'll be okay.
Yeah, no, I'll get the thing.
Anyway, we'll get through it. Juan Francisco Estrada versus Bam Rodriguez. Talk to me about that fight.
A fantastic fight. A legend, really, at the division. Has been in all the big nights that made the division so fire, really. Whether it was the main one or the second main fight, he was in pretty much all those nights. Bam, top, well, he's rated 9. Thank you, babe. He's ranked 9 pound for pound in the world by some people, top 10 by pretty much everyone else. So I'm just really trying to avoid getting
That's okay. You take your time.
Need that shit, Bam, top 10 pound for pound. Had a hell of a win last time against the undefeated world champion who didn't even look like getting beat. You know what I mean? So what a tremendous win that was to set him up for this fight. But yeah, it's a great matchup. It's like the passing of the torch. It's Mexico versus American-Mexican. Yeah, it's a big event. The tickets have done great. And I think it's a hell of a fight. Technically, they're both great fighters. I think Bam may be a little bit better, like technique, skill-wise, control of feet-wise, but Estrada, when he wants to go back and when he wants to move, he can also. When he wants to fight, he can also. So yeah, it'll be like a very interesting mesh of styles. Whether Bam tries to just bully him or whether he tries to be more calculated, and I can't wait for it. Hopefully, my face is in one piece this time, so I can watch it. The main event.
You mentioned that we were with Estrada today, looking in fantastic condition. Didn't look drawn at the weight. Looked very well and fit and healthy. How does he go about this fight? Obviously, you have intimate knowledge of how difficult it is to box Bam. If you were speaking to Juan Francisco Estrada now, what advice would you give him?
Boy, I think you're going to be in for a long night. In all seriousness, I don't know. If I knew, I would have done it. Estrada probably much more tougher than me. Probably hits a lot harder than me. So probably has more ways to win than me. He might just walk him onto a shot. Bam might start fighting with that same ego and arrogance that I started fighting with. And I felt the change, and it might change certain things, and he might want to prove a certain thing. He might want to be keeping up a reputation of being destructive and being a knockout. Who knows what the mindsets of the fighters are? They're both that good that there's probably a Rubik's Cube amount of ways for both of them to win. Yeah, I think every round will be important. I think it'll be one of those fights that the jeopardy will be there both ways. I don't think I hurt Bam, but I think I got his respect for some of the shots that I threw, and like everyone knows I'm not the biggest puncher. I think if Estrada catch some of the same shots, will it be enough to hurt him? I don't know. Will he be able to find the shots? I don't know. That's what we wait to see. I'll be real, I like Bam, and and what people don't get about me is I was giving Bam credit when he was jumping up from light fly to super fly and taking a fight at very short days' notice and winning world titles. Like, I was a fan from then when he weren't even in my weight division because he kind of skipped it. But obviously, when you're one away, it can always be. So it was never like a disrespect. I've always very much rated him. The reason why I wanted to fight him, like when I say about Roman Gonzalez or a new wave, people will just laugh at me, think I'm just joking or saying it for like clout or whatever. Like, no. I would love the experience to share the ring with the best of this generation, win, lose or draw. Like, I want my record to mean something. What it really meant, you know what I mean? Not just numbers and rubbish fights. So, Yeah, like I hope Bam does it, make my loss not look as bad. And because I can speak to him, I can't even speak to Estrada. He don't speak English, so there's a lot of reasons why I want Bam to win. You know what I mean?
Estrada, while looking good today, is 35 now. He's not been the most active in recent times. Hasn't boxed in 18 months. Not the ideal preparation, not the ideal kind of form guide, as it were, going in against somebody of Bam's ilk.
I think it depends how you see it, because I don't know. Sometimes I think, you know what, 15 months off could be a fucking godsend. Genuinely. You know, when you're just fighting and fighting and fighting, and your elbows are hurting, your wrists are hurting, and your hands are hurting, and you fucking barely got to catch up with your life and what you're trying to achieve outside of the world, and like you've just been wrapped up in camp after camp after camp. You've half been neglecting your kids because you've not been there as much as you should be, missed their first sports day and that. Like, yo, sometimes 15 months is exactly what you need. Look at Ryan Farrick. Shout out to Ryan Farrick. Had a whole hiatus, had a loss when he come back, had a change of trainer back to his original man, my friend Chris Williams, and then boom. Commonwealth champion, more props to him. But I've sparred him. And I sparred him years ago. Yeah? And I fought him years ago. He gave me better work for this camp than in the fight or the spars when he was... Because he's more fresh. He's motivated. His mindset's like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. No excuses. Before he might have had a bit of what he deserves or what he should get on. He might have had that. I don't know. I can't speak for him. But some time out, some new ambition, a new team. A bit of rest, recovery, maybe some injuries healed. All of a sudden, back on your best again. Maybe look the best you've ever looked. That's possible. Especially when you're such a good fighter and you've probably been so busy. So there's probably been so many fights where you're not 100%. 15 months, you will be 100%. There's no way you're carrying any injury for 15 months. Your body's adapted in that time. You've done the surgery if you needed it. Even if you didn't need surgery. No impact, high impact punching is so good for your body, Robert. A holiday from that. Swear down. So who knows?
So if you just give me 1 second, because there's something that I just want to make sure I get right before I ask you next time for the next question. So just bear with us, please, callers.
What, so this is you fact checking?
Fact checking, yes.
This is you not doing your research, Robert?
This is me legally checking, actually.
Is this you...
So...
You're going to edit this bit out?
So, no, I'm going to keep it.
Natural, I like
so
it.
the reason why I wanted to...
I respect
I mean, I have flown in today and I've had not, much sleep. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to get it right is because I want to talk about your old mate, Julio Cesar Martinez.
Him.
Who was suspended recently for... I was looking for these
I'm catching these flies.
substances.
I'm ready to fight. I swear down. I am ready. No, when they're getting away from you, I'm not ready.
He tested positive for 3 banned substances.
Again? Oh.
Diuretics and masking agents.
Colour me shocked.
Masking agents. And it was, of course, now banned for 12 months. It was
I don't believe
preceding
it.
his Angelino Cordova bout.
Wow.
Which was subsequently changed to a no contest, which, of course, happened recently in a high-profile fight with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney.
Now that's crazy.
Just your thoughts on it, and ideally thoughts that aren't going to get me sued, preferably. But
How could they get you sued if I said it? When it got me get me sued?
yeah, if I publish it, I can get sued.
I've got a 24-hour round-the-clock lawyer. He'll be here in a minute.
Okay,
So in
great.
case I get sued,
Let's
we can
hope
already start.
we don't need him, but it is an important subject, and I mentioned the Ryan Garcia situation. That has been a prevalent case in the doping world. We recently had the Conor Benn situation. It is very prevalent, and this is somebody who does have previous. Let's be honest, I'm not trying to stoke the fires, and you do have a long-standing rivalry with him and the family history with Charlie, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, your legal thoughts.
He was scared to fight me even when he was taking drugs, yeah? So that's how good he thinks I am. That's my first thought, yeah? Because bear in mind, before I signed with Matchroom, we agreed to fight, yeah? I was getting paid just over £225,000 to go to either Mexico or America, wherever they wanted it, and I was happy for Mexico. I wanted Mexico, yeah? And that's the truth.
I remember
and anyone in Matchroom...
I remember we did the interview as if the fight was done, and we were going to hold it back for when the fight was announced.
And I was ready to go over there. I'd already started camp. I went over to join Florian Marco in Albania and was doing camp over there in my team, yeah, for that 9 days, and I was coming back over and going somewhere else, yeah. He didn't want to fight me when he's been cheating when he got in the ring with my brother and failed a drugs test, but because of the friends and connections and how this world works, allegedly, we don't know, but people at some point said, even though you have tested positive for something that we do not allow fighters to have in their system, you lot are alright, 5 of you. So, am I surprised? Am I shocked? After all the pullouts, after all the delays, after the not wanting to fight me, not wanting to fight Bam, not wanting to fight anyone, yeah? Am I surprised? Absolutely not. Because it's been very abundantly clear, him like many other fighters, that he's been cheating the whole fucking time. Otherwise, he would never have got out of any of those rounds in the second half of the fight at Roman Gonzalez. If he didn't have serious shit in his system, there ain't no way he's getting through that fight. He was getting punched up in a way that I've never seen, and I got punched up by Bam. He got slaughtered. That was like it was like Goku versus fucking a punch bag. It was like something like Dragon Ball Z. He got hit so many times. It was crazy. Like unrealistic, and he's still there. Even when he was trying to get out the ring, his trainer was like, "Nah, mate, you have all that in your system. You get out there. You can survive. Maybe get some smelling salts and a Vaseline." Let's be real, man. They're all fucking cheaters, man. But is it do I know? Is it my jurisdiction to not fight someone or hold them apprehensible? No. That should be at the powers that be. But like we can pull back to any of my interviews for a few years, no one cares about us. No one cares about me. When I get into a boxing ring, you want to be entertained. You don't care, really, if I come home brain damaged. You don't care, really, if the other person's got drugs in him. You don't care, really, yeah, if my kids never see their dad again. Let's be fucking truthful about it, and then we can all get on a whole lot better. No one cares. The ones at the top don't care. The ones at the bottom don't care. You're still going to watch all these fighters that foul every single time. And usually, what happens, yeah? Fighter fails a drugs test, big scandal. When they come back, if they even have to go anywhere, their exposure from the scandal has made them 5 times the purses in the next fight. How about that? How do you like them apples? And that's the fucking reality of the situation. And that's what's fucking sad. Because no one cares. And then you have clean-hearted fighters, yeah? That have never put anything in their body that they're not supposed to. And has all the drugs tests to prove it, yeah? What do we get? Nothing. We don't get no prize for being clean. The only thing we don't have to worry about is failing a drug test. But fucking hell, the amount these lot get away with, it's probably worth the risk. I don't know. I've never taken. I don't know what the chance of getting caught. But so many people do left, right and centre. All I know is, Robert, I've never put anything in my body and I'm not threatening about any of my drugs tests. And guess what? We've never seen Sonny Edwards banned. Because the only thing I'd ban for is a spliff, nothing else. Because real bad, man, they don't take anything else. They don't have to have some forced, fake sense of cheatingness in them so they can go about their business. I don't need that, ever. Ever. Give me some water and a banana in the morning. I don't need much else. Got to do 12 rounds, 12 times.
We've got to do 12 rounds in a few days. So with that in mind, one fight, I don't like to ask you about fights that don't relate to you, as you know, but it's kind of in the vicinity, so we'll talk about it.
As long as it's not above super bantamweight, we're good.
Oh, it's not. It's super flyweight.
Wait,
Kazuto Ioka against Fernando Martinez. That's a fight I really, really like.
I like that Martinez, you know.
He's very good.
He looks
what he
like
did to
a
Jerwin
handful.
Ancajas.
I can't lie, there was a time when that fight was not getting offered to me. It was like getting
The
talked
Martinez
about.
fight.
Yeah, at Superfly. Like when I was getting stuck for the unifications, that was one of my options. And don't get me wrong, I was taking it. Because I was going to go up a weight, try and become a second weight world champion and feel like I could beat him. But wow, is he a handful? I don't know, Ioka's look great at times, sometimes not as great. Obviously, it was Franco.
Yeah,
he got back.
Franco blew the weight.
Yeah, and he's back on top, but he's coming to the end side of his career now. From what I can remember, I don't even know Ioka too well. I've seen him fight, but I don't know. Apart from like a new weight, it's kind of really hard to like. I don't want to say relate. That might sound a bit bad, but like, I don't know. The Japan boxing culture just seems so different.
I think I don't know.
It's like they don't really call people out. They don't really like. They don't even come out of the country really unless it's like a major
you
fight.
have to
you
go
know
out
what I mean?
of your way to kind of. But I guess with yourself, I mean, I know you're.
I would love to go over there. By the way, I would love to go and experience it. I want to fight
you're a big
their
fan
new
of Nakatani and
like a serious
and those guys.
Yeah, serious. But I don't. It's just a bit maybe harder. You know, with, like, because they're so far away from the world.
Other than those,
like it's easier to relate to an American fighter and like Mexican fighters. We see the shows and fights, but
I was going to say
they're hidden on Tuesday for me.
Other than the fights, which we've sort of had a quite nice little tradition of having on like a Boxing Day, and
I get up and I watch them.
But other than that, we don't like if you find the Japanese fight, you have to find a stream.
You have to look
it's quite
for
difficult. Although Top Rank have got hold of a lot of the bantams and super bantams. But anyway, back to Fernando Martinez. I didn't know that.
But like I said, like I'm more like excited about him as a fighter. So, but I could be just
I think he's naturally bigger.
But I could be playing down Ioka, but just because like I've not got excited about him as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But for that Martinez, wow, he looked like a handful. That's why I was interested in fighting him. Though I think that would have been a good fight. That would have made me go on the back foot though. I think both of the Martinezes. That's why I wanted. But
I think Fernando Martinez is better than.
Much better. I'll punch his head in. Yeah. I think it'd take him out. He's literally like, because where's he from? Martinez.
Argentina.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I didn't want to quote wrong. I thought it was Argentina. Because I remember there was over with one other fight, and his manager spoke to Matchroom about me fighting him, even though I went with Matchroom at this point. Yeah, like, I don't know how that happened, but it was at a show, and but it was like a fight that I was interested in, but obviously I went with Matchroom and it took it a different route.
Okay, well that's interesting. But yeah, looking forward to that fight nonetheless. Okay, right. Well, I think we're about there now. You've been bitten to pieces. So
I'm probably underweight now. The amount of blood these lot have taken out of me.
We're gonna leave the last word with you ahead of your return to the ring. What can fans expect to see this weekend from Sonny Edwards?
Nah, forget that, man. I just want to say a message to all the people out there that may be struggling or putting themselves through. Now, I feel like the world, they live with like a lot of expectations, and it's often thrust on us rather than given to us by ourselves. I think society's in a place now where things are very confusing, very hard for a lot of people. Even the people that were seemingly doing well for so long might be struggling more now. So if you are in that boat, you really are just like the rest of us. Anyone outside of the people that know, we're just the worker ants, man. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on your neighbours, because really, we're all just people trying to survive to the next day and try and be happy whilst doing it. And unfortunately, hurt people, and misery loves company. So the sadder someone is to the left of you, the more likely they're going to bring it to your life. I don't know. I just feel like people should start zeroing down in these times, because, I don't know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but we may potentially be living in the end times right now with what's going on in the world. So I just want to say, save all the children and, don't be so hard on yourself to the people around you, man.
Well, there we have it. Sonny Edwards, thanks very much as always for making time for me ahead of your return this weekend. I'm sure we'll catch up again after the fight. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing News.
Yeah, as long as I'm not on the way to the hospital.
I'll wait for you.
Again.